Hello, welcome to our post. I'm Wang, a postdoc from Professor Johann Kuper's group of Controlled Molecular Imaging at Sheffield DESY. In this video post, I'm gonna introduce our current results of the conformational selected polar Diels-Alder reactions in the gas phase, which was done together with our collaborator Professor Stephen Willich's group at Basel University. Our project is focusing on the reaction kinetics between conformer-specific molecules and trapped ions, and to investigate the relationships between structure and reactivity. So you may ask why we are interested, as we know that large complex molecules exhibit multiple conformers, which react at distinct rates and often with different products. Conformer-specific reactions provide further insight into the chemical shapes of stereomers in chemical reactions. The conformational effect is important when we are trying to understand complex chemical reactions. These conformational effects in chemical reactions under single collision conditions can be achieved by combining spatially separated conformers and cold trapped ions. Currently, we are exploring the mechanistic details of the polar Diels-Alder cycle additions to better characterize the long-standing problem whether these reactions proceed while stepwise or concerted mechanisms. We are collaborating with Professor Willich at Basel University. From Hamburg, we test and provide the spatially separated conformers in the gas phase. At Basel, they prepare for the cold trapped ions for the reactions. This slide shows the overview of our experiment setup located in Basel. The center of the left figure shows an ion trap. The cation atoms were ionized while the strong field ionization by a focused femtosecond laser. The resulting cation ions were trapped in the ion trap and were cooled by the two cooling lasers at wavelengths of 397 and 866 nanometer respectively. As a result, the so-called cooling crystal was formed in the center of the trap and was monitored and imaged by a CCD camera as shown in the top of the figure. In the experiments, propane gas was leaked into this reaction chamber, and neutral propane molecules were ionized by UV light at 180 nanometer generated from the third harmonic generation of UV light. The propane ions were then sympathetically cooled by the cation Coulomb crystal. In the end, the propane ions populated around the Coulomb crystal and acted as a stationary reaction target for the molecular beam. The cold molecular beam was generated while supersonic expansion from a piezo valve and went through an electrostatic deflector in which a high inhomogeneous electric field was applied, as shown in the insert figure. The conformers were spatially separated in a molecular beam passing through this deflector based on their distinct electric dipole moment. By vertically tilting the molecular beam source setup, the trapped propane ions reacted with different parts of the molecular beam corresponding to different compositions of the conformers. The reactant and the product ions were injected into the time-of-flight mass spectrometer and were detected before and after the reaction. The red figure shows examples of pseudo-first order rate measurements with different deflection coordinates. At each coordinate, reaction will be measured independently for 3 to 5 times. So, we investigate the conformer-specific polar Diels-Alder cycle addition by selecting two interested systems as shown in the red figure. One is the molecule called DBB that has two conformers that it reacts with the propane ion, and the other neutral molecule is also have two conformers called MVK reacts with the same propane ion. For the conformer-specific polar cycle addition DBB, with propyne, we found out that both conformers of DBB gauge and trans are reactive with capital limited reaction rates. Theoretical calculations rationalize this finding by a competition of both conserved and stepwise reaction pathways. For the reaction of MVK and with propynes, it shows the first results of the conformal-specific ionic hetero Diels-Alder reactions under single collision conditions in the gas phase. We confirmed the cycloduct product from the experimental mass spectrum. The cis conformer of MVK is reactive with capture limited reaction rate, while the reaction rate of the trans conformer was strongly suppressed. The presence of stepwise reaction pathways for the cycloaddition was indicated from the experiments and quantum chemical calculations. Due to the limited time of this video post, here I only make a brief summary for our results. Unfortunately, it seems that we don't have any post session. For any comments or questions, please email me and we can arrange a video discussion if possible. In the end, I would like to thank all the help from the two group members, the CMI at Hamburg and the CCMI at Basel, especially Dieter for DBB reaction experiments, and Patrick for theory calculations for these two reactions, and also our theory collaborator, Professor von Leinenfeld. We also want to thank all the fundings that support our work. Thank you very much for your time, and keep safe and healthy.